Waiting has a way of revealing what we're really holding on to. For a long time, my waiting looked like longing for a baby. If you know me, that probably doesn't surprise you. I've loved kids for as long as I can remember. I babysat and nannied as soon as I was old enough. I worked in daycares, I volunteered in church nursery. Having children someday felt less like an idea and more like part of who I was. So when my husband and I got married, I assumed starting a family would come naturally and quickly, but it didn't. Months passed, then a year, then 2, then 3. Every test was negative, every prayer felt heavier, and I kept saying the right things out loud, that God's timing is perfect, that He's faithful, but quietly something else was growing in me. I didn't recognize it right away, but it was bitterness. Every pregnancy announcement stung. I found myself asking questions I didn't like why them? How could someone have a baby by accident when I was doing everything possible and still getting nothing? I was tired, discouraged, and honestly angry. By the time I attended a women's conference in 2023, I was worn down. I'd been praying for healing in my body for years, and I finally found myself asking God, why won't you just fix this? And then came a moment that changed everything. I felt the Lord ask me a question I wasn't prepared for. Would you still trust me if you never had a baby? My immediate response was yes, of course, but the question came again more gently, more honestly, and this time I couldn't answer it. When I really looked at my heart, I realized the truth. In the place I was in, I didn't know if I could trust Him without the thing I wanted most. The dream felt so holy and so God-given. I so deeply believed that He had put the desire in me. Why wouldn't He fulfill it? And I had to face the reality that I wanted the gift more than the giver. That night I broke. I stopped defending myself and I stopped striving. I laid everything down. The disappointment, the anger, the control I hadn't admitted I was clinging to. I didn't fix anything, I just surrendered, and something shifted. The next day, through tears, I found myself saying words I'd never truly meant before. God, if you never give me a baby, you are still enough, you are still good. And in that moment, peace came. Not relief, not answers, peace. The kind that doesn't make sense when nothing has actually changed. It was the closest I've ever felt to God. Then in that place of surrender, I felt Him speak again. He said, I didn't say you'd never have a baby. I needed to know that you would still trust me without one. And then something even more unexpected. You're going to have a baby, and you're going to name him Oliver. And it startled me. Oliver wasn't even a name we had really decided on for the future, and I didn't even know what to do with that moment. I was so shocked and questioned if it was all in my head. Later, I looked up the meaning of the name, and Oliver means peace, and that's when it hit me. God had given me the peace before He ever gave me the promise. Months later, in complete shock, I found out I was pregnant, and yes, it was a little boy. But the journey still wasn't easy. Around 12 weeks, we thought we had lost him. We had an appointment, and there was no heartbeat and no movement. I remember going home not knowing how to survive the night. I told God I didn't know how to walk through loss, but that this baby was His. And once again, that same peace came. Not because I knew the outcome, but because I knew I wasn't alone in it. The next day, the ultrasound showed a perfectly healthy, wiggly baby. Oliver was born in November of 2024, our peacemaker, our promise. And even then, the testing didn't stop. When he was just a few months old, a strange but simple medical situation turned into hospital visits, endless tests, and a CPS investigation. It was confusing and terrifying, but once again, I was reminded that he was never truly mine to control. He belonged to God first. So we surrendered again, and through a series of moments doctors couldn't fully explain, the situation completely resolved. Our son was healed. We were sent home with peace instead of answers. Looking back now, I see that the waiting wasn't wasted. It changed me. It stripped away what I depended on and showed me who I was really trusting. The miracle wasn't that I received what I prayed for. It was that God met me in the waiting and gave me peace before He ever gave me fulfillment. I don't understand everything that happened, and I don't need to. I've learned that faith isn't built in the fulfilled promise, it's built in the space before it. And that peace I found while waiting, that was the real miracle.